Good morning, children. On a morning walk, three persons step off together and their steps measure 40 centimeter, 42 centimeter, and 45 centimeter respectively. What is the minimum distance each should walk so that each can cover the same distance and complete the steps? Here we have to find out the minimum distance only. So minimum means what we should find out? We should find out the LCM. So we'll write here each person will cover the minimum distance means solution. Each person cover the minimum distance. Then we have to find out the LCM of 40, 42 and 45. Therefore 40 equal to 2 cube into 5 and 42 equal to 2 into 3 into 7, 45 equal to 3 square into 5. Therefore LCM equal to 2 cube because the highest power. See, 2 cube is there, 2 is there. So 2 cube I should write 3 and 3 square. I should write 3 square only. Then 5 only one time, that is the highest power, and 7. So if you take the product, you will get 2520 centimeter. Therefore, the minimum distance equal to 2520 centimeter. There is a circular path around a sports field. Priya takes 18 minutes to drive one round of the field, while Devi takes 12 minutes for the same. Suppose they both start at the same point and at the same time and go in the same direction. After how many minutes will they meet again at the starting point? Here starting point, how many minutes will they meet again? So it is the minimum time is required. So minimum time means we should calculate LCM only. So the required number of minutes is equal to minutes equal to LCM of 18 and 12. Now what is 18 factors? 9 into 2, or we can write 2 into 3 square. Next 12 means 2 square into 3. So LCM means which is the highest power? 2 square, and in 3 square, that is 4 into 9, 36. So after 36 minutes they will meet again. After 36 minutes Devi and Priya will meet again. Next is a theorem. Let P be a prime number and A be a positive integer. If P divides A square, then P divides A for some integer A only. So what is the question? P be a prime number and A be a positive integer. Then if P divides A square, then P divides A we have to prove. Correct. So by the fundamental theorem of the arithmetic, every composite number can be expressed as a product of the prime number. So A be a positive integer. So what we can write? It is a theorem, so proof only. Okay, A be a positive integer can be expressed as product of many primes. That means P1, P2, P3, etc. Pn. Right? Now this is by how we are writing, by the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. If any number is there, we can express as a product of the primes. Now it is given that P divides A square. So A we have taken here in this way, and we should mention here where P1, P2, etc. Pn are prime numbers. Therefore, A square equal to P1, P2, P3, etc. Pn. Again, one more time, because it is a square only. So one more time we can repeat the prime numbers, that is P1 square, P2 square, P3 square, etc. Pn square. Now, by the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, what we can say, if P divides A square, means P is present in one of these numbers. P must be equal to one of these numbers. That is, it's a uniqueness theorem only. The property is unique only. So, if P divides A square, means one of the prime factor is equal to P only. Given that P divides A square, therefore, by the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, P is a factor of A square. Prime factor, we should write prime number, prime factor of A square. Therefore, P is one of the factor in P1 square, P2 square, P3 square, etc. Pn square. That means P is one of the factor of P1, P2, P3, etc. Pn. This implies P divides A. P is a prime factor of A square, or we can say that P divides A square. Now we got a P divides A, hence proved. Next is a question, that is, prove that root 2 is a irrational number. Actually, we have already proved that root 2 is irrational, because any number which cannot be expressed in the form P by Q, where P and Q are integers, Q not equal to 0, are called a irrational number only. So root 2 is an irrational number only. We have already find out by the division method, its decimal expansion is non-terminating, non-recurring only. So by this also we can say that it's an irrational number. One more method we have to study this year, that is contradictory method only. Here proof of contradiction we will call this. So we are assuming that it is a rational number, means contrary. What is wrong that we are assuming here? How to prove means, let us assume root 2 is rational. If it is rational, it can be expressed in the form P by Q, right? So root 2 equal to P by Q, where P and Q have a common factor other than 1, because it is a P by Q, it should be in the rational number form only. So there is no common factor other than, where P and Q have no common factor other than 1. No common factor other than 1. Or we can say, and Q not equal to 0, right? Or we can say, or P and Q are co-prime. Because when we are writing a rational number, standard form to be written, standard form means what it is, no common factor will be there. Whatever common factor is there, we should make it cancel and write in the standard form. So P by Q in the standard form only. So we can write next time onwards P and Q are co-prime only. Now we are doing squaring on both the sides. So 2 equal to P square by Q square, right? Now I'm cross multiplying 2Q square equal to P square. This shows that 2 divides P square. See, 2 is a factor of P square only. That means 2 divides P square. Just now only we have proved the theorem that 2 divides P square means 2 divides P also. See, when P is divided by 2, there will be a quotient, right? P will be right side, right? P divided by 2, you will get a quotient. Let us take this quotient as R. That means what is P? P equal to 2R. So this implies P equal to 2R for some integer R. Now squaring again, P square equal to 4R square. Now I want P square from here, so I make it this equation as a 1, and here I will write, substitute for 2Q square and 4R square. Now I'll write here using 1 only. Now cancel 2 here. So Q square equal to 2R square only. Again Q square is expressed as a multiple of 2. That means 2 divides Q square. This implies 2 divides Q square. If 2 divides Q square, then what we can write? 2 divides Q also by theorem. Isn't it? So now you see here 2 divides P, I will make it 2, and 2 divides 3 as, Q as equation 3. By 2 and 3 we are showing that 2 is a common factor for P and Q. But what we assumed in the beginning, P and Q are co-prime only. So using 2 and 3, two is a common factor of P and Q. P and Q. This contradicts the fact that P and Q are co-prime. P and Q are co-prime. We have already taken in the beginning that they are co-prime. There is no common factor other than 1. This happened because of our incorrect assumption. So what we are telling, our assumption is wrong, so we have got a wrong result. So we are telling that, we are concluding that our assumption is wrong. We accept that, or we conclude that root 2 is irrational. So we conclude that root 2 is irrational. Little steps are difficult, but once or two times you practice means it will be easy for you. One more sum we will do, that is prove that root 3 is irrational. So again we will start in the same way, that let us assume that root 3 is rational. Let us assume that root 3 is rational. What is the next step? If it is rational, we can express in the form p by q. So I'll write root 3 equal to p by q. I told we can write in a short form that where p and q are co-prime, and q not equal to 0. What is the next step? We should square. So 3 equal to p square by q square. Okay, now cross multiplying. 3q square equal to p square, right? Now 3 is a factor here. So 3 divides p square. If 3 divides p square, what is the conclusion? 3 divides p. Okay, if p is divided by 3, then there exists an integer r as a quotient. That means p equal to 3r. Again p square I have to do. So p square equal to 9r square. Now here we need some other equation. So this p square I am making 1 and 3 divides p I am making 2. Now p square I am substituting here. 3q square equal to 9r square using 1. Now what is the next step? Cancel 3 here. You will get 3 here again. Now this side q square equal to 3r square you can say. That means 3 divides a square. Sorry, q square. 3 divides q square means 3 divides q also. So that is our equation number 3. Now we got equation 2 and 3. So using 2 and 3, what we can say? This time 3 is the common factor. 3 is the common factor of p and a q. This contradicts the fact that p and q are co-prime. This happened because of our assumption is wrong. So we conclude that root 3 is irrational. See, steps are same only. What you should do, you should practice with root 5 and root 7 also. Then it will be easy for you, right? This is one of the important question only, and the method is little bit difficult because contradictory method only. So practice and make the equations correctly, and the final step is similar in all the cases. So once again I'll repeat the steps because root 2 I done, root 3 also I done, root 3 I'll repeat now. Listen carefully. Root 3 we are assuming that it is a rational number, right? If it is a rational, what is the form? P by Q form. But condition is what? They are not having any common factor. It is in the standard form. That means they are co-prime. Now what we should do? Squaring. So root is removed here. 3 equal to p square by q square. Cross multiplication. 3q square equal to p square. This shows that 3 is a factor of p square only. That means 3 divides p square, or we can say 3 is a factor of p square. If 3 divides p square, just now only theorem we learned, 3 divides p also. If p is divided by 3, then there exists some integer r as a quotient because it's a factor. Complete division is possible. So what is p? P equal to 3r. So p square equal to 9r square. After this, what happened? We have to go back the first step. So here I have made equation 1 that we are using here and substituting 3q square equal to 9r square. Cancel with the 3, q square equal to 3r square. That means 3 divides q square. This shows that 3 divides q only. Now using 2 and 3, because we made the equation as 2 and 3, what it shows that 3 is a common factor of P and Q. It is wrong from our assumption. What was our assumption? P and Q are not having any common factor other than 1. This is happened because of our assumption is wrong. So when you are starting with the wrong things, your result will also be wrong only. That only here it shows that. So after getting a wrong result, what is the conclusion we are making? We are accepting that our assumption is wrong. So we conclude that root 3 is irrational. So with this today's class I am winding up. Thank you.